Just finally get the timing sorted on this Jag, and as you can tell, it's been one hell of a day. Not the best start because the phone sort of went to one side, but what we're doing here is removing the 8 Torx retaining bolts, which is holding on the flex plate. So we now whip that out of the way using the 3/8 Milwaukee. It was quite a surprise, and then moved on to removing essentially, well, there's 12 8mm for the upper, and then there's about 14 mils to get this lower timing case off, and that revealed this absolute monstrosity. Absolutely horrendous. But essentially this engine uses 2 chains, so it's got a primary on the lower end and then a secondary on the upper. And what I'm pointing at here is the cam locking tool and then some of the timing marks. So we've used a cam locking tool and a crank locking tool to essentially stop the engine from rotating, and then we've lined up every single one of those timing marks to make sure the engine is completely in time and cannot move. And then what I'm pointing at here is the tensioners. So each chain's got a tensioner, both of them are oil controlled or hydraulically controlled. And essentially we need to remove them, which will give us enough slack to start pulling the guides and the timing equipment. So that's what I'm pointing at just there. And then when they're out of the way, easy enough, just slowly remove the guides. They slip straight off and then ping the chains off with them. So this is the replacement timing kit. So you've got an intermediate sprocket, all the chains, all the adjusters and all the guides. So very comprehensive kit. And then we moved on, so straight into the bottom. Now the bottom was a piece of cake, to be honest. It slipped straight on, straight dead on the timing marks. Absolutely fantastic. We had to do this absolute MacGyverness for the upper. So the sort of plate that I was using for some reason pinched the top chain so you couldn't get it in. So you'll see we've got the old adjustables out and a shitload of wire just to hold those cams from springing back on the valves. Allowed us to keep that in time while we slipped it all on. That upper adjuster, another thing not noted anywhere, but you actually have to push that in to release the circlip. And this is me working my way through, torquing everything up. Covers now RCV'd and on, and then we go through and torque and Loctite the flywheel bolts.